More Kobayan. Akira. This shit feels pretty okay. Honestly, like he's. I feel like this shit's pretty good for Geef too.
I believe every time though.
I like me some Cammy Geef. I kind of suck against Hooligan in particular. Like that's a me problem, right? But outside of Hooligan, like no diffing like Brick, not Geef. I feel like this probably is a pretty good matchup for Geef too, right? This one of them rush down grappler matchups. Geef may have gotten no special since SF5, but he got a way to run in with plus frames, more defensive options, and no longer being chipped by fireballs, so he won the lottery going into 6, which is crazy because he was so bad in season 1. He's really good now. I think again, if anyone wants to if anyone wants to do any kind of sob story for Geef, like Geef has been amazing to pretty good ever since season 2 started, right? I think he's quite strong right now. I think he really does have a pretty decent like matchup spread into a lot of relevant characters as well, which is besides like him just being good on paper. I think he also like he does well into Guile. He at the very least like even into Guile, right? He does pretty well into. I think Cammy's a winning matchup for Geef straight up. At least that's how it feels. If I could imagine myself not getting gimmicked by Hooligan, I feel like that matchup's probably straight up winning for Geef, right? He does like fine into the Shotos. I'm not sure that he loves fighting like Ken or something like that. He does weirdly kind of like good and terrible into Akuma, right? Like in a lot, like there are certain Akuma tools that Geef deals with better than most characters, and then like Demon Flip, like cross up Demon Flip just like removes him from the video game in ways that it does to basically no one else. So he's kind of, again, Akuma's weird. Maybe it's like slight advantage Akuma, but he's not too bad, right? He has a pretty good answer for Mai's fans. Like Geef's bad matchups are JP, which is a problem because JP is really strong character and somewhat prevalent at top tier certainly as well. There's not a ton of JPs running around, but he dude. Honestly, I've never blocked that shit either. Thunderstorm is the anti-Elena button. That shit's still gonna be ass. I have horrible news for you. But but Geef, like his bad matchups are like JP, which is problematic for sure, and then like Lily and Dulcim, which like they don't exist, right? They don't exist. There was a point there, the point where Geef, like if Geef was top tier, some people tell you he is right now. I think he's very good. I think he's probably he's one right outside of that, like one tier below that, I'd say. But like there was a point where like JP was kind of gone from the meta. And Geef was like better than he is right now. Like he still had jump cancel SPDs. Headbutt was still unnerfed. Knee was still unnerfed. In hindsight, that Geef was probably top tier. Yeah, right. Like that Geef just had no losing matchups and like the most belligerent, like just obscene tools you've ever seen. Like the Geef at like the start of season 2, that motherfucker probably was top tier. Geef good even against the Shotos. Geef's okay against the Shotos. Like again, I think he probably does like lose slightly to Akuma, but it's a weird like. Again, like Geef deals with like air fireball better than like most characters in the game, but he deals with demon flip worse than like most characters in the game. So it's kind of strange, right? He doesn't hate fighting that. Like the Shotos, I don't think are like horrible matchups for Geef, right? It's gonna burn him out, right? Yeah. Like, I don't think he loves like fighting Ken or Akuma or something like that, but they're like they're like 5.5, 4.5s at worst, right? Thunderstorm no diff Selena motherfuckers when she puts out crouching kicks. Yep. Hellstyle level 1, what a god. Like I would not think that Ken and Akuma are great matchups for Geef, but they're not bad, right? They're like slight disadvantage at worst, I would think. Welcome back. What's going on, GBH? Also, I bumped my mic there, my bad. But like that Geef at the start of season 2, man. Headbutt didn't have the scaling on it, right? Knee was safe all of the time. He still had jump cancel SPDs. JP was gone from the meta because he had gotten nerfed pretty bad, and everyone also overreacted even beyond that, right? So he had no predators, he had no natural predators, and he was better than he is now. That Geef is kind of fucking nuts in the grand scheme of things. Now Geef's still very strong. Still no doubt about it.
Kobayan, he's really getting the reads now.
Just a walk-up SPD.
Walk up SP. See, this is the shit that's so hard for me. Because like this, I feel like I need to do this way more often. Like trying to implement this has killed me so much. Like this idea of like, this as like a neutral RPS option of like if you're going to be even a little bit passive against Geef, like the idea you can just do this to you, like just walk up and SPD you. He's so strong. But in practice, I end up like fat fingering this input. I end up like picking it way too often or not often enough or stuff like that. But The input for Hell Stab. What's the input for Hell Stab? Why is it so hard? The input is it's 3 medium punch. It's down forward medium punch. So the input for Hell Stab is not that hard. It's more so that doing a double quarter circle after you do Hell Stab is annoying, right? Going from down forward medium punch into double quarter circle forward, I find to be pretty tough. This is, I guess, a Cammy, not a Cammy exclusive, but most DPs hit you at least twice, right? Yeah. That's another, I guess that's another thing that's pretty good for Geef in this matchup. Is you have to, you can do this with DI to a lot of DPs, right? For this DPOS, you can bait it with DI, and then, like, you know, like Ken will kill you for it, Akuma will, yeah, Ken will kill you for it, Akuma will kill you for it, but a lot of DPs will hit twice and then, you know, they'll die. I guess Geef can do this with just heavy punch to Cammy, which is certainly a lot less committal, right? So that's pretty nice. Her shit only hits once. Remember, if you can crouch light punch in neutral, you can SPD in the same situation. Yeah, but like I feel like a lot of times I try to do it and then people like walk back and I whiff it or something. I'm not good at picking my spots with it. But I feel like it's such an important option for Geef to have, and it's definitely one of the things I'm trying to learn to incorporate in like the medium term. But during the incorporation process, it certainly has been getting my ass kicked. Is it possible to get Hell Stab in the middle of the first quarter circle and then only have to do the second one after? Yeah, like, probably, but was the punish counter meterless SPD 40%? Yup. 3780 for heavy SPD on punish counter. Let me just show you that real quick. 3780 is the damage that it does. Bonk. Oh, 3795. My bad. Yeah. So it's a raw level 3. That's right. Shit ton of damage, that guy. What the fuck was that? Oh, okay. I was like, how'd the jab hit him from so far away? It's because it was a whiff punish. Yeah.
I think it was a stand medium kick. Oh, that hit far.
SP's a 5-frame move. You need at least 4 frames to input it. It's probably 9 frames at least. I mean, yeah. I feel like in practice, I probably normally end up taking something like 8 or 9 frames to input it. I feel like maybe like 7 on a good day. So it is definitely more of like a call out for like if they decide to just block in neutral. But it's still a very important option for Geef to represent. But yeah, it's definitely not like it's not a 5-frame button in that way. Yeah, it only applies as a 5-framer in that sense, like as a punish or something where you can buffer it. Funny Brickman, hello Con. What's going on? Long time no see. Oh god. Another one in the chamber, so true. Ow. Dude. The footsy's kind of nuts with it. The footsy's kind of nuts with it, I'm not gonna lie to you. Got a bit of a stuffy nose. Got these lozenges though. I also got a bit of a cough, a little bit of a throat thing. Those foreign pathogens go crazy, man.
He's just getting those conversions. I saw him do it against Itabashi too. He did crouch strong into the level 3.
I'll tell you, I got. I'm pretty sure. We don't know yet for certain, but like it seemed to match all the symptoms. I got norovirus on the Japan trip. That shit was fun. A couple of my friends were looking around for a place to eat. They were like by themselves. And they found this like. Oh. This like gas station, like underground, like in a subway. I can't remember if it was a sushi restaurant or a ramen restaurant or whatever the fuck. And they were just like, yeah, this seems like a great idea. And yeah, they ate a bunch of food there, and then the next day, one of them is puking and shitting at the same time, which is always fun. And then I thought they just had food poisoning. I didn't realize that food poisoning was like a contagious thing. I guess I'm stupid because it's got to be some sort of virus or bacteria or something, right? But in my head, I was just like, yeah, they got food poisoning. So I was taking care of one of them, just like, you know, getting them to eat stuff like that, like bringing them stuff if they needed it, like just kind of stayed at home for one of the days. And the next day, lo and behold, it's coming out of both ends, man. It's crazy. Cammy looks busted. I've seen enough. Give Lee 10 more pre-jump frames. So true. Did Japan treat you well? Yeah, it was fun enough. I was just talking about how I had food poisoning though, so that was funny. So I kind of tanked it though. Apparently the symptoms for norovirus are supposed to last like 1 to 3 days. I think I puked like 3 times. I was done in like 8 hours, basically. But I was done with like the food poisoning symptoms in like 8 hours. I had like a fever and like these really fucked up chills for like a whole day. It was annoying, man. I had to basically stay in bed. Shit was debilitating.
Okay, we're gonna go into level 2.
No, something
Jack
happened.
Hammer.
Like, he's like, yo, I'm about to be
That's rough. Yeah. It was kind of honestly.
Let's see.
I kind of chilled at home for a little bit though. So it was in its own way. There were like 3 of us who were just like sitting down, like laying down and like getting up to like shit or vomit every now and then. It was kind of funny. Doesn't every direction of the 360 need at least 1 frame? So 4 frames each into the 5. Yeah. Like at minimum, if you just did like forward, down, back, up, and punch or something, or like forward, down, back, up, back, and punch. If you did it perfectly, yes, you could probably do it in 4 frames. In practice, I kind of roll the stick. So I end up doing like 6, 3, 2, 1, 4, 7, and not necessarily holding each of them for 1 frame. But yeah, like, so like that, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames at best. And I feel like in practice, I usually end up doing it in like 8, 9 frames, holding a couple of them for like 2 frames instead of 1.
Okay, spend level 3, calm yourself, attack the drive.
But you're right on the theory, Matthias.
Sequences.
You consider trying modern Geef as a silver player that shit's diabolical? It sounds fun. I think I just don't wanna get used to 1 button 720. I feel like that changes your game plan so much, you know.
No anti-air. Level 2 would kill.
See?
Oh, it's close. It's close.
I don't think he's dead. It's 50%. It's full. It's max scaling. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna jab it out. Jab it out.
Oop. Nice. Good old driver check. That shit is still counter hit, by the way. Like even now. In the Elena trailer, we saw someone get their, or in like the 7 minutes of like season 3 Elena gameplay footage, where we saw the Tekken throw get to an extra bar drive gauge. We also saw that drive rush is still not, like, it's not punch counter or anything like that. It's still just counter hit. That's why I love Kobayan, man. He's so into it. Like it's always sad to watch Kobayan lose, and he does not win this, so I'm sure when he does lose, it's gonna be very sad to watch. But he's just always pumped up, man. Where's the heart on the sleeve? When he's winning, he's like pumping himself up. He's jacked as well. He's fucking beating his chest like a gorilla. And when he loses, he's like crying and shit. It's very engaging at the very least. I want to get used to 1 button 720. You play Ladiva with the S button. That's a different thing. Okay, it's a different game. It's a different game. It's a different character. It's a different. That's why you motherfuckers, like, fundamentally, like, the things you say don't make sense to me. Like we were talking about people being like, well, I don't in other fighting games, I don't have a guard button, so like I just don't use the guard button in Grand Blue because it's weird to me. That's why, like, fundamentally that shit doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, that's Ladiva. You know, that's Ladiva. That's Grand Blue. It's a different thing. My Street Fighter 6 muscle memory is completely different from my Grand Blue muscle memory, and very rarely do they overlap. Sometimes I do with the dash button in fucking Street Fighter 6, but I thought he wins this. Wasn't there another match? No, I mean, like, he doesn't win Evo Japan, yeah. So at some point we will see Kobayan lose, but Kobayan is my favorite high-level Geef to watch. He's great, man. The way he plays is one thing, but yeah, again, just like how like emotional he is so great.
Don't give him a double perfect in the last game.
Oh, I'll tell you though, with the norovirus, that was like my sort of like big Gaijin moment. Dude, he's so good at that. Like it's just not even hard for him. Like there's no difficulty at all in doing the health stab level 1, huh? He just does that shit consistently every time. This conversion I like too, by the way. Like just crouching light kicks, crouching light punch, standing light punch. It's much more consistent than doing 2 crouching light punches. Because sometimes at range that shit'll whiff. What's a norovirus? What are the Twitch drops? There are Twitch drops? Norovirus is food poisoning. It's one thing that can give. Ooh, baby. Okay. Dude, he's so jacked. I'm trying to get like you, big bro. In many ways, I'm trying to get like your Zangief. I'm trying to get like your physique. I'm just trying to get like you. Norovirus is one of the pathogens that can cause symptoms colloquially known as food poisoning. Alright, it's not the only one.
You know, in the neutral game, it's actually pretty
but yeah, you know, like it makes you shit your pants and puke. Apparently it's the only thing that makes you shit and puke at the same time, which is funny. You know, citation needed, but that's what I was told. But yeah, so I have food poisoning. Well, I didn't get food poisoning. One of my friends got food poisoning, and then turns out that shit's contagious, which I did not know. So I got food poisoning without eating anything bad, which feels like cheating. Like that feels bullshit to me personally, but it's one of the worst ones, basically leaking from both ends. Yeah, that's why I'm so glad that I tanked it. That is the one thing I have, though. You know, I got low intelligence, I got low wisdom, I got low dex. I'm a clumsy motherfucker. I got some high constitution, though, I will say. When I get sick, I usually do tank that shit pretty well, which is weird. I feel like I don't do anything that'll make my immune system better. Like if I actually like made sure to like get enough vitamins and like go outside a lot, I might just be like immune to sickness. In my current state, I already feel like I do tank shit pretty well. Can also give you bum weed. I was pissing out of my butt in many ways. Funny that Noro means a small leak in my language, you know? I do wonder if that's... certainly there were big leaks, but I wonder if it's a euphemism. But point is, the big Gaijin moment that I had was... I got off a bus. I was feeling kind of bad. This was like day 2, and I was mostly over my symptoms. Like I was out and about, and I was actually going around and doing stuff. But then I was like, you know, I will say I misplayed the norovirus a couple of times. Right? Because again, just by when I was taking it, like, you know, the first, like, you know, late night, I'm like, I think I'm gonna throw up. Oh shit! And you kind of cope it, right? I didn't know I didn't know that I had it yet. They were like, my friends talking about maybe they had something that was contagious, and I was like, well, nah, it's probably fine. And I got like that like little pit of nausea, like when it first starts out, you know. And you're just like I feel kind of bad, but you're like, it's whatever. I just, you know, I just gotta like drink some water. I'm actually fine. Like actually, I have no symptoms. You just like you try to like cope it, right? Then over the course of like 30 minutes, it gets like harder and harder to deny that, like, and eventually like your mouth starts doing the thing, like, you know, like you start making a lot of saliva and stuff like that, like you just like your mouth starts like coating like the inside of your mouth and your throat with saliva, like in preparation.
This person is incredibly smart and attractive.
What's going on, Spartan? Is on my main man break back from Japan? Indeed. Hello. Nice to see you. Point is, like, eventually I got to the point where, like, shit, okay, like, I'm gonna throw up. Cool, I have food poisoning. I don't know how that happened. Again, in hindsight, it's because apparently whatever they had was contagious. I was like, I don't know how that happened, but I definitely need to throw up right now, right? So I get up and I yak. But then I was mostly fine after that. Like, I threw up, the nausea left, I felt amazing. And then I was like, you know, I'm just gonna take this seriously. I just, like, didn't sleep. It's like 11 p.m. I just didn't sleep. I just sat on the toilet for, like, 6 hours. And whenever anything came up, I just, you know, took care of it. And after that, like, 6-hour toilet session, I felt pretty good. I was just good. Like, the next day, I then went to bed. I woke up, no more vomiting, right? No more. Like, I still need to poop every now and then. It wasn't that bad. I felt really good. Right? I was like, damn, I got over this shit in like 7 hours. I'm the goat. And like, you know, at the same time, like, simultaneously, I could hear my friends like every 20 minutes like getting up to vomit and shit like that. Right? So I felt kind of like I had a fucking 20 in Constitution. But I then immediately, I misplayed twice, and both times it's me flying too close to the sun because I thought I was hot shit, right? So like, I feel great. I feel so good, in fact. The only real symptom that I still had was, I had, like, a fever and, like, some chills, right? So I'm like, I'm kind of cold. I'm gonna go take, like, a super nice, like, hot bath. It's gonna feel great, and I'm going to, like, celebrate my unanimous victory over the norovirus. So I get in the shower, and I go take a bath. It feels great. It is true. It feels amazing. I was so cold, just from the chills and shit. Like, it did feel amazing to be in the bath. However, as soon as I got out of the bath, I immediately was like, this is a mistake. Like, when I went back out, because like the bathroom was kind of cold, right? The bath was super hot, but the bathroom was kind of cold. So like, I got out of this, like, you know, 55 degrees Celsius or like 60 degrees Celsius bath or something like that. It felt amazing while I was in there. I was like vocalizing to no one. Like, I was just like, fucking, oh fuck, my fucking god. It's not like I was jerking it in the bath. If anyone had like their ear up to the door, like, it must have sounded like I was freaking my shit in the bathtub, because I was like so relieved by the feeling of the hot water on my chilled, feverish body. But as soon as I got out, everything felt horrible. Like that temperature contrast, I immediately, like, I was like, oh shit. And I just kind of fucked myself. I just kind of fucked myself like another day. Not even with nausea, with chills, right? Like, I had to spend the rest of that 24 hours. Like, 8 hours, we got over the nausea. I had to spend like the next 16 just sitting in bed. I had socks on my hands and socks on my feet. Because I didn't have gloves. Just like trying to warm myself up in any way, shape, or form. And it worked, but I could have been putting up, like, they would have retired my jersey, man. I could have gotten over the norovirus in like 8 hours. Instead, my misplay forced me into another 16 hours of hibernation. And then, right, day two comes about. Celsius user communist spotted. Canada's in a weird place, man. We use Celsius for our temperature, and also Fahrenheit. We use kilometers and miles. We use kilometers for distance mostly, but then, like, we use feet and inches for height. You know, we use pounds and kilograms for weighing shit, depending on what you're talking about. Canada's like caught in the middle of a divorce, you know? Canada's caught between the US and England and has no idea what to do. Bro, why? He's so. How does he just do that, man? How does he just do that? You drink tea and coffee. That's right. That's right. So that's misplay number 1, right? Day 2, I've gotten over my chills. I'm feeling great. I'm like feeling good enough. I'm feeling a little like weak, right? But I'm feeling good. I'm like I'm going out and about, right? I don't want to miss too much of the trip. Like I go out, we go out, we do some like shopping and stuff like that. It's great, right? I get a little hungry. It's been a little bit. I haven't eaten too much. That's a big thing. I'm really hungry. Now if you don't know, when you have food poisoning, you're supposed to like slowly kind of like reintroduce. Oh, Brick, big thing that happened to me when you were gone. I found 300 milligram caffeine monster. Is that why you're typing in all caps in my chat? Are you okay? Maybe you should keep the ticket easy on the 300 milligrams of caffeine. Actually, sounds like you found cocaine. I'm very hyped at the moment. Okay. I mean, I'm happy for you. Be careful. That's a lot of caffeine, man. That's like 10 cups of coffee or something. Let's be fair. Cups of coffee is also kind of a fucked up measurement in that like, if you get a cup of coffee from a coffee place, it is usually like 2 or 3 cups of coffee. But still. I'm excited for you, but you know, don't overdose on caffeine, please. A large cup of coffee has 400 milligrams? Are you sure about this? Is that real? I thought a cup of coffee was like 50. Like not an actual coffee place, but like, you know, the quote unquote measurement was like 50 milligrams. I didn't think a large cup of coffee was 8 cups of coffee. I thought it was like 3. I thought it was like 150 or 200 or something. Drink it with alcohol and see what happens? Yeah, it's a great idea, for sure. Should definitely, and also smoke some weed while you're at it. No dream? He ain't got those? He ain't got no shin dream? Well, okay, the second misplay. He lost that round because he got a PC without realizing. Excuse me? Punish counter. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, PC. We're playing this shit on the 500-degree PS5. Kobayan's just like me, whiffing stand, like kick, drive rush to SPD. That is, you know, in many ways. That's supposed to be a nerf to the lights. Maybe you can use it for some bullshit like that though. Depressant, stimulants, hallucinogens all at once. Yep. You're gonna meet God. But point being, when you get food poisoning, you're supposed to slowly like start reintegrating like very like mild foods into your diet. You know, some like plain like some soups maybe. You know, some like white bread, like some like plain rice. Like that's like in small quantities. Like that's like some really like just mild stuff that's like easy for your stomach to handle, right? Like a carrot or something like that. I get hungry when we're outside, and I'm just like, you know, you're supposed to avoid, to my understanding, like fatty foods and like really sugary stuff is kind of tough, right? I just went and I had McDonald's. I was like, I'm just gonna have some I had like 2 McChickens and a milkshake, and I was like, this is gonna be a great idea. I flew too close to the sun, right? I felt pretty good. I'm like, my symptoms are done. I got no nausea anymore. The fever's mostly gone. I'm chilling. I'm basically good. So I have 2 like full McChickens and a milkshake, and I feel a little weird even when I'm eating them. But for some reason I ignore these warning signs. Like even as I'm like swallowing it, my body's like, hey, I thought we were cool. I thought we were friends. Like why is this happening right now? I was like, we're hungry. Don't worry about it. I was hungry enough that I was able to calm the warning signs in my body. 3 hours later, I do very much like I start getting that feeling again. We're like on a bus, a very crowded bus though. So I'm shitting my pants because I'm shitting my pants because I might shit my pants, literally, right? And also like I'm like shoulder to shoulder with people. Like I'm like there's a guy in front of me, a guy behind me, a guy to my left, and a guy to my right, and we're all like hugging like this. I'm like if I vomit right now, I'm gonna like go to jail. Like I'm sure I don't know how like Japanese cultural shit works, but I'm pretty sure like puking on my fellow neighbor is not. You know, you're supposed to stay quiet on the train, let alone vomit on the guy next to you. Yeah, I was pre-shitting my pants. Yeah. The thought of shitting my pants in public, while also vomiting on a guy, made me shit my pants. So I was not exactly. I'm not exactly hyped about this. I do survive until I get off the bus, though. By that point, though, I've kind of been like fighting the nausea, and then as soon as I got off the bus, I'm like, all right, this is happening. And I told my friends, I'm like, hey, so I'm gonna vomit in the next 5 seconds, and we're just like in this like residential area. And so my like big, dude, I love him fucking. Pizza? Should I get a burger or pizza tonight? Pizza. Pizza superior, I feel. It's just more fun to eat too, in my opinion. But yeah, I just like we just in front of this guy's house, and I take no pride in this necessarily, though it was kind of funny. But I did just like vomit on this dude's lawn. I just straight up started yakking it on this dude's lawn, and he comes out, he's like yelling at I assume he just hears the sounds of someone vomiting right outside of his house. He like pops his head out the window. He apparently was in his like shower. He's naked. Like this dude is not wearing any clothes. And he's just kind of like you know, you can only see the top part of his body, which is good. He didn't like flash us or anything like that. He's kind of like leaning out of his window with no clothes on, like wet hair. And he's just yelling at us in broken English to like go away, go away. I'm not gonna impersonate him because I think it's a little insensitive. Because you know, I'm not listening. He doesn't speak it. That's fine. I'm in Japan. I'm not like making fun of him for not speaking English, but it did sound, because he was a little panicked. It sounded a little. It sounded like a racist caricature of an Asian guy yelling. That's all I'll say. I don't even hear this guy for the first like I don't even hear this guy for the first like 2 go-aways. I'm like in the vomit dimension, you know. I'm not focusing on anything. I'm just fully yeah, exactly. Yeah, can you speak English? Fuck you, exactly. But my friends just kind of like looking at him, like they're trying to like apologize, and he's yelling at them, and I do get cut off like mid vomit. Like, I'm like 4 yaks in, you know, and I finally hear him, and I kind of look up, and there's like shit coming out of my mouth. I just go, oh yeah. I walk over, and I like turn a corner, like I'm in an alleyway, and I just vomit the rest of it on the rocks. It felt great though, I will tell you. That was the last time that I puked. It felt amazing, because I really was just I just made a horrible mistake, basically. You became a sitcom character, kind of, yeah. Do it? Don't? I will not. No, like you know, for what it's worth, you know, it sounded very stereotypical. I do not envy you, man. Honestly, vomiting is really not that bad, man. It feels great after you do it, and it only feels really bad when you're doing it. If you're doing it a lot and you're like dry, you get to a point where you're like dry heaving, which I only vomited 3 times over the course of like 2 days. So. Especially when you get it plus headaches, food poisoning is hell. The worst, like by far, the worst symptom I got from the food poisoning was actually norovirus gives you a fever. I hated that way more than the nausea. Like, I would have traded easily. I would have like vomited more and shit more if it meant that I didn't have to have the fever. Fevers are horrible. Yeah. I think worst symptoms of illness that are not like death. Or like, you know, like a coma or something. Like, you know, worst, like relatively civilian symptoms of illness, I think, are sore throat. I think is the worst. Sore throat is crazy. Maybe it's because I fucking talk so much, right? Fevers are the worst. I think fevers are up there. I don't think they're the worst. Maybe it's because I can't shut the fuck up. Like in every aspect of my life, I'm always talking, and sore throat makes it very hard for me. And I also hate that like every time you like swallow your saliva with a sore throat, it feels like someone's stabbing you in the fucking throat. Sore throat, I think number 1. Number 2, this might be surprising. Oh, he backdashed, didn't he? Yeah. So number 2, I think, is actually not like a stuffy nose, like a blocked nose. You know? Like when you straight up can't breathe, you have to breathe out of your mouth. Like you try to like sleep, you're like laying down, you literally cannot breathe out of either of your nostrils. That to me, that's second worst. That's like actively gets in like my way of just being able to live my life, right? Running through these games right now. 3 might be fever. 3 might be fever and chills. Yeah, that shit is horrible. Like that's the kind of shit that put like, you know. I've like fractured my arm and like fractured my my foot before. That shit was bad. But yeah, it's like like it hurts a lot when it happens. You're like you kind of walk around with it, whatever. You live your life. I feel like I would rather fracture my foot than have another fever. Constant hiccups are my least favorite. Headaches? I don't get bad headaches. I never had like a migraine. I could definitely see it, but I never had like a migraine, you know? Headaches themselves, they're whatever to me. I'm bitching Sajam, Slime, Vaz, SF6, and both of Brian F's teams and tournament runs were so fucking peak. Yeah. Sore throat doesn't affect me because I don't talk. Yeah, I mean, even without the talking though, like just the fact that every time I have to swallow, it feels like someone's stabbing me in the lymph nodes. I don't like that a lot. Fever is absolute ass. Hate feeling hot and cold at the same time. Yeah, and those aches that it gives you too, man. I can handle semi-crippling back pain, but fever and chills has me rethinking my life. Yep. Migraines have me writing my will. Yeah, so I've never had a migraine, so I can't talk. But like I've heard they're like terrible. I've heard like they can be like straight up like, I don't want to live anymore because I have this, like, you know, in the moment, you're like, maybe death isn't such a bad thing. Like, maybe we will all return to him at some point, you know? Rather get slurred than have a fever. Excuse me? What do you mean by this? You'd rather get, like, you'd rather have someone call you a slur? Because, I mean, to be fair, maybe I just, like, I don't know, maybe I haven't experienced enough racism in my life. But, like, I feel like I would rather be called a slur than get sick at all. Like, this, I don't know. As long as there was no, you know, maybe that's me. Strangers keep calling me the N-word. I love America. Oh, that's awful. Crazy. Back to Smash. True. Or Grand Blue, or GDSD, or Street Fighter. Nausea, I will say though, Nausea probably is like number 4. I think Nausea is pretty bad. Like, because Nausea is also Nausea and converse, like not conversely, not Nausea and like together with that, like diarrhea, I think are also both pretty bad. Just because you can't do anything. Like if you're nauseous or if you have diarrhea, like I really don't think that throwing up is that bad. Especially if you're drinking and eating, even though you know you're gonna throw up, because you have to, right? You have to try to get some nutrition in there, and also throwing up feels the worst when there's nothing there and you're just dry heaving bile and acid out of your stomach, right? When you have food to throw up, it makes the whole process a lot smoother. So like nausea is the act of like throwing up or like, you know, shitting your pants, not shitting your pants, like shitting in a toilet when you have diarrhea is not so bad. It's more so that, like, if you have those things, your life is over until they're done with, right? You can't do anything. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Like, because you're a time bomb. You're just not safe to be outside, right? So I think just because, like, nausea or diarrhea are just, like, so intrusive to your life, despite them not necessarily being, like, the actual exercising of the symptoms is not that bad. But the fact it just puts a pause button on your life, right?
Play it slow. Don't get too crazy. Don't rush.
Throwing up isn't bad until it comes out of my nose. It feels funny. I don't know. Constipation worse than diarrhea. Oh my! Wait, hold on. Is he doing this again? He's not doing this shit. Him and Bellotto? Oh, damn, that's sad. That's a tough one. Throwing up a stomach of water feels like nothing at all. Yeah, exactly. But you have to drink a lot of water. If you're throwing up a stomach of bile, that's where it's hell, right? Because first off, you're gonna like dry heave a bunch because there's not enough lubrication there. You're just gonna be like doing like, and so you gotta start like ripping your throat apart and shit like that, trying to dry heave, gonna like break your back. Like one of my friends got really bad back pain just from like the straining, right? Like their muscles just started like lighting on fire. So like if you're like that's bad. But yeah, if it's a stomach full of water, it just kind of feels like drinking in reverse. I don't know if that, it really is. It's not that bad at all. And usually there's an insane amount of relief that comes after you throw up that feels so good. On something very dangerous where I felt like I had to pee very consistently no matter how empty I was, that was dangerous. That's interesting. I knew a guy in university, college if you're American. I knew a guy in university who had to pee like 13 times a day. I'm not sure why. Like he just apparently he didn't even say it was like a medical condition. He just pissed like 15 times a day or something like that. And I was like, that can't be normal, right? That's Fahrenheit, so true. Like I have to imagine that he had some sort of medical condition, like, right? That's diabetes? I don't even know, man. Like I know diabetic people. I feel like they don't piss that much. He's cleansing his body by pissing. You ever ask what color it was? No, I did not. I didn't know the guy that well. He was like a friend of a friend. But he just mentioned offhand, yeah, like he would go to the bathroom like every 50 minutes or 40 minutes, something like that, like consistently. Like he just had to piss like every 40 minutes. I'm not sure if he just had like the world's smallest bladder or if it was anything more serious, but he was a healthy, athletic guy. And I don't think he was like type 1 diabetic either. Like he definitely was not type 2 diabetic because like he seemed pretty in shape. I don't think he was type 1, but maybe. Yeah, even then, do type 1 diabetics piss 15 times a day? Did he drink water a lot? He was very well hydrated. If you don't eat and drink a lot of caffeinated fluids, it's kind of how it goes. Off topic, but DJ punish counter crouch medium kick at level 1 is the most satisfying confirmed to do ever. It is maybe it's a good thing the wall brawl is tomorrow and Thursday. I just have a lot to talk about from the trip, and it's like it is kind of crazy that Benjamin talking about Street Fighter 6. He's like off topic, but we're supposed to be watching these Kobayan matches. Okay, I learned something. We already learned about the headbutt level 1 stuff, right? Oh, jeez. But yeah, it's funny that he's like, off topic, but let's talk about Street Fighter 6. That's my bad. We're gonna play, so... Stay on topic, chat, we're talking about piss. Yeah, we're gonna play a little bit to finish off the stream here, don't worry. Drinking water is always good, but too much is crazy, yeah. Me when I'm trying to sleep, my body says time to use the restroom 3 times inside of 1.5 hours? That's crazy. You know, I feel like I sleep pretty quick. Especially if I, like, don't... Like, a lot of times I'll, like, you know, I'll go on my phone or something, but I'm just like, hey, we need to go to bed. I can usually get to bed within, like, 5-10 minutes, right? Pretty easy. I usually don't have, like, a super, like, loud or, like, stressful or anxious, like, inner monologue or anything like that. Like, I just kind of, you know, I just kind of put my head on the thing and I think about whatever and then I go to bed, right? I thought I went to sleep pretty fast, right? One of my best friends, love this guy, absolutely love him. I've never like stayed in like the same room as him. I never like stayed in a hotel with him or anything like that until this Japan trip, right? I don't know, he has like an off switch in his head or something like that. It was crazy. We were having a full, he was like sitting up, right, in bed, like sitting up, we were having a full conversation, like he was animated, he was like talking about shit, he had like opinions, right? And I was like, anyway, we probably should go to bed, or we gotta wake up early in the morning. He's like, yep, so true. I'm like, okay, man, see you, good night. And I like, we're in the same room, right? And I get up and I go to piss, and I'm talking like, I got up, I pissed, I came back. It was a quick piss. It was like I was gone for like 30 seconds, literally. I'm not exaggerating. I was gone for 30 seconds, mid piss. Like as I'm coming back, I hear.
He's going in with the drive rushes right now.
I don't think I might pick that up, but I hear incredibly loud snoring, and I'm like, there's actually no way. There's just like that you can't be serious, right? Did you wash your hands? I washed my hands. It was quick though. You hit him with a little guy. I don't know, man. Maybe I need to. Do you go for the full like the COVID-19 like 2020 like 5 minutes washing your hands with soap and water every time? This live right now? Yeah, indeed. I was getting terrible sleep, so I would fall asleep anyway. Rick's live, that's me. But yeah, like you know, I was gone for like 30 seconds. He was out before I got back. He was like, it's crazy. And also, that motherfucker snores so loud. I wanted to kill him. Yeah, I mean, if you're tired, if you're sleep deprived, it certainly makes it easier to sleep, right? But, yeah, I think he was a little sick and a little tired. Like I have a cold right now. I got it from his ass for sure, but he just gets dog shit sleep. He was definitely a little EP over the course of the whole trip. I was a lot of the Airbnbs we went to only had like we were 6 people, and they were like, you know, we booked a lot of Airbnbs that had like 5 beds. That's tough. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this, man. Don't put the camera on Kobayan, man. Don't do it. Yeah, keep it on him. He's huge, man. Look at him, good sport. I don't want to. I don't want to see this, man. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh my fucking goat, man. Yeah, that's the thing. It's that's why it's always it's great to watch Kobayan, right? He puts his whole heart into that shit, man. When he's winning, he's like, fuck it, roaring into the camera, he's hyping himself up, shit like that. It's always sad to watch him lose, though. But, you know, you gotta, it's that competitive spirit, right? Like, I think I always, like, when people are talking about getting, also, Blanca's eyes are red as fuck, man, Jesus. When people are talking about, like, playing ranks, stuff like trying to get better, like, I usually tell people to, like, not worry too much about getting, like, you know, don't worry too much about your losses, like, just focus on improving, focus on long-term, focus on having fun, stuff like that. And that's true for 99% of people, right? But I think if you want to be, like, the best in the world, you have to just hate winning, right? You just have to despise, losing. You have to hate losing. Like, you have to just despise losing with a passion, right? I feel like you can't, like, if you're gonna be like that good at something, there has to just be this, like, insane competitive drive in there, right? And the idea of, like, anyone being better than you or, like, losing to anyone has to just piss you off to no end, I think, for you to even, like, to even just have the motivation to work as hard as people have to do to get that good, right? Imagine being Blanca's barber, being bold enough to give him that fuck-ass haircut. Yeah. Someone saved me from my folly. I suddenly have a desire for Burger King. I haven't had Burger King in a while. It's not the worst thing in the world, you know? Anyways, hey, remember we were gonna play some Street Fighter? Maybe we should play some Street Fighter 6. I kind of forgot. We learned some stuff from Kobayan. For the past, like, 2 sets, though, I've definitely been kind of checked out to talk about norovirus. So pizza on the way. Let's fucking go.